Hello guys, William Waller here again, and here to talk about a movie that just came out this past week. I'm a little bit late on it because I didn't have time to give my thoughts, but I wanted to talk about Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. And I can easily say this was the best Mission Impossible out of all of them. I absolutely enjoyed it from the start. You think, it might be like Ghost Protocol where it shows everything in the trailers, what their biggest action scenes are going to be. Just with Rogue Nation also now with the trailers, just when you see the beginning, you're going to be like, oh wow, I don't know what's going to happen in this movie. I'm intrigued, and I thought that was an improvement from what Rogue Nation did compared to Ghost Protocol. How like this movie, coming into this movie, you did not know what you were going to get yourself in for, and boy was it a ride. I'm going to start out with, we're all here to see Mission Impossible for the action scenes, so I'm going to start with that. The action scenes in this movie were impressive. I enjoyed every single one, like from the one from the trailers with the airplane scene. That was phenomenal. I couldn't think Tom Cruise could have topped himself from the Dubai scene in the last movie, but with this one, he absolutely did it. And there was a couple other ones after it too, like this motorcycle sequence. I'm not going to spoil it. That one was really good. I actually felt like I was with Tom Cruise the whole way. The way the camera was tilted, shot. I was like, ooh, you were just holding on to Tom Cruise. You felt like you were in the back of the seat with him. And there was this one also where he goes into this, it's like a 1% chance he would make it into this water, but it's like you have to jump in a certain area. If not, bad things could happen. I was like, this one scene where he has to jump into a water just to get inside of it, and then when he was inside also, I was like worried for this guy. He could possibly drown, or I don't know, he could have been hit by this thing that was inside. Also, I can't really explain it, but you guys see the movie, so you know what I'm talking about. This thing that was inside, you're worried when it would come back and it might hit him. So even though I kind of knew he was going to survive, I was still worried for him. And then I just don't want to ruin all of the movie or anything. Those were some examples of what was in the movie. And for the story, with these types of movies, you really just want a decent story to get through the action scenes. But I was impressed with this story as well. Like, I was interested at least. I wanted to know more of the syndicate. I wanted to see if Tom Cruise can, get his hands on this evil organization, because I felt like this one was the one that challenged Tom Cruise the most. Like, it was good seeing him fight, all these villains, but in this one, it was more like a cat and mouse type of game. It's like the villain was always one step ahead of Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise, in this movie, you can see you can tell it's getting into his head, and I thought that was interesting. I was like, it made me appreciate the movie even more. That even though it's an action movie, it didn't just rely on action. It gave you more for your buck, and I absolutely loved that. Now I want to talk about the actors and actresses. Tom Cruise, let's start with him. The man of the hour. He, as always, is great. I love how he puts his body in line for the sake of our entertainment, and it's just, he doesn't have to, but he does, and you can tell he likes it, but he says he does it for us also. But I appreciate what he's done with, Edge of Tomorrow, these past few Mission Impossible movies, whatever he's done, just because he doesn't like to rely a lot on stunt doubles. He likes to do his own stuff, and I admire that. And then Simon Pegg, I was really impressed with him in this movie. Like, they gave him a bigger role. I was like, I'm a Simon Pegg fanboy, but in this movie, he cemented that he could be a legit star. Like, I can see him star a movie in the future. I'm not sure which one yet, but I have hope that he will land bigger roles now. And I was with him through the whole movie. I was rooting for them, to get the bad guy, all of them. Jeremy Renner, Ving Rhames, they're all good too. They were what they were in this movie. They did well. And as much as I was, I was surprised with Simon Pegg, the way he was in this movie. He wasn't the one that stole it. I thought it was Rebecca Ferguson. My God, this woman. She and Charlize Theron from Mad Max Fury Road were like the best action star actresses of the year. Like, they showed that they can be wonderful, but also kick ass. And I want to see more of Rebecca Ferguson. My God, she is. Ooh. I'm speechless. There are things I want to say that I don't think is appropriate for this video, but let's just say, yeah, she is awesome. And then the villain, he was fine. I thought it was kind of, odd that he might have had that typical cliched villain voice that a lot of cartoony villains get, but I feel like it worked for this. Like, it didn't annoy me as much. After a while, I was like, I'm used to it already. I could use a little bit more of him. I feel like the second time I saw it, I thought he had enough screen time, so maybe it's just me, seeing it more times. But I just thought the first time he wasn't in it a lot, but it was good. And I want to say also, since we're talking about this right now, Jeremy Renner, I thought, he's proven himself to be an action star. I felt like we could have used more of him also, to help Tom Cruise, Simon Pegg. But he was more like the guy behind the scenes, talking with the CIA or whatever with Alec Baldwin. But still, they're all good. I really didn't have a lot of complaints with this movie. I feel like I will forget something like always, but you guys know where I stand. I absolutely love it. Only a minor nitpicks, like, I felt like we could use more of the villain, but after the second time, I probably gone back from that nitpick. But I'm not sure. I gotta see how this movie goes on in my eyes after I've seen it multiple times. And also, I don't want to forget anything, so I'm trying to think, guys. Hold on. And I don't know. I just really loved it. I was impressed. It's probably my favorite action movie this summer so far. It was Mad Max, but now it's this. It's like Fury 7 it's fine for what it is. A little cute film, but Rogue Nation takes it to a whole new level. And I'm going to give it a grading system. I was thinking show you stars or numbers, but I'm going to do grades right now. Those are my favorites. And if I grade this movie, I'll give it an A-. Not a lot of problems. Let me see. A lot of people say it was a little bit too long. I thought it was fine. It didn't overstay its welcome. I can't think about right now about more problems. So really, yeah, it's like I didn't really have a lot of problems. But I know there were some, like maybe more of the villain. We could have seen maybe more of the syndicate. They establish why they're a bad group, but maybe I wanted to know more so I can, be in that mind of Tom Cruise, why he's obsessed on getting them. But yeah, this was an almost perfect movie. It was more than what I wanted for an action movie, and I was glad. I was impressed. I was on my edge of my seat. So that's it for my review. What do you guys think? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a signature sign off, so I'll just say I'm just an ordinary guy who likes to review, react to the world. Thank you. Bye bye.